Hey, what's up, fam? It's that man Taj, the rapping detailer, and I'm back at you again with another video. So, I want to talk to you today about trust and letting go, right? See, there's this whole philosophy that happens when you're a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you grow up more than likely fearless. Unless certain things are placed inside of you, you're not afraid of anything because you don't really have the experience to say, oh, I should be afraid of this and I should be afraid of that. You know, sometimes you see kids, there's a popular video going around about this little girl who goes up to a bear. The bear actually comes up to her and she wants to pet it like a dog. And she says to her parents, "Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?" And you know, our human minds are like, "Girl, you better not pet that damn dog. You better not touch that dog," because in our experiences, we understand what a bear can do to a human. So the philosophy, when you're a kid, you're just seeing everything as a playground. You walk around, you're curious, you're loving, you want to give people smiles and laughs and hugs and jokes. You want to laugh, you want to play, you want to run. You walk into a store with your kid and your kid looks at everything on the shelves. And your kid is like, "Hey, I want this, I want that. No, I want this and I want that." As a kid, we have a mind that says, "I'm not afraid of anything. I want to try everything." So what happens when you grow? After you're going from ages 5 to 10, and then 10 to teenage years, and then teenage years to your 20s, and then your 20s to your 30s to your 40s, and so on. What happens? What happens is you start to experience life. You start to experience things in your life that can take you away from that creativity you had as a child, from that playfulness that you had as a child. When you grow older, you experience things like setbacks, things like pain, things like disappointment, things like sadness. You develop all of these things that can basically weed the childlike nature out of you, that can teach you things that are good and bad, that can give you experiences that say, no, you better not mess with that person anymore. You remember what happened the last time you messed with that person? They did this and they did that to you. You remember how you felt after that. You remember how low you were. You better not go back there. Our experiences give us feelings of regret. Our experiences give us feelings that we don't want to experience anymore. So in essence, a lot of times we develop shells, hard shells. We develop bars and cages that we put ourselves in to protect us from these hurts and pains. Yeah, a lot of times these hurts and pains can protect us. And at the same time, these hurts and pains can hold us back. They can hold us back because if we're constantly on the lookout for people that we can't trust, then what it does is the opposite of what we're looking to do. Because while we're looking for people who we can't trust, the real person that we learn not to trust is self. The real person we learn not to trust is the person who we see in the mirror every day. Because the greater and the deeper meaning of this philosophy, from going from a childlike nature to an adult and not being able to trust and putting ourselves in the cage, the deeper part of it is, since we don't know how to trust others, we internalize that in ourselves as if we're making bad choices out here in life. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made a bad choice. I can't believe that I went and trusted this person. I can't believe that I went to this place. I can't believe. And then this thing starts to happen. This thing starts to happen. That thing starts to happen with our pointy fingers. We start to look at everything else around us like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I'll never do that again. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I trusted this person. I'll never trust that person again. And sometimes we go and trust that person again. And sometimes we get burned again. Not realizing that the whole time we're allowing these things to happen to ourselves because deep down we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust in the mistakes. We don't trust in the mistakes that we make. We think these mistakes are losses. We think these mistakes are things that are meant to hurt us, meant to bring us down, meant to set us back from our goals and the opportunities around us. And really what these things are meant to do is challenge you. They're meant to challenge you to step up. They're meant to challenge you to get better. They're meant to challenge you to grow and to be a better human being. Because it's true, you cannot go into a situation that burned you. You can't go back there with the same mindset. You hear me? You cannot. It's law. You cannot go into a problem that you could not solve with the same philosophy, with the same equation. You need a whole nother way of doing it so that you learn to crack that code, so that you learn to solve the issue. See, I'm going to tell you what I've learned lately about myself. I remember when I was a little younger, when my locks was hanging down to here. I remember me and my homie, he would call me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Yo, Taj, man, I got these beats. What you doing, man? I'd be like, man, I'm chilling, man. What's popping? He's like, man, let's go ride around, burn a couple, and see what you got for these beats. So, we would be riding around for hours, 2-3 hours at a time, just listening to beats, rapping and freestyling, and just being creative. And a lot of times, this is where some of my best work has come from, is just freestyling, messing up, making mistakes, trying new things. And as a result, I put out a lot of content and not even near as much as what I'm about to do, since I figured it out. You know what I figured out, and what trusting people has taught me recently, because I've jumped into a whole mindset saying that I got to do everything myself, that I can't trust anybody because nobody's reliable, and it's hard to get people to commit these days. But what I understand about my journey now is that if you're committed, if you are committed to the journey, if you are committed to your goals, then you have no choice but to have that commitment reflected back onto you. You have no choice. These are laws of nature. If you go into the world and you're thinking that everybody's against you, then in turn, everybody's going to be against you. If you go into the world thinking that everybody's an ally and you can trust people out here, sure, you might run across some people who will take advantage of that, which is still your responsibility to cut it off when it needs to be cut off. But at the same time, in reciprocity, you will receive that same love right back. And what better way of living life than giving and receiving love? Sharing and having others share with you. Shout out to my homeboy Sky. I was in the studio with my mans last night. And the creative process that he helped me to unleash inside of myself is the creative process that I used to have when I was a child, when I was younger, when I trusted myself and others more. Because over time I've learned not to trust in others because of my experiences. But all it did was grow a shell and help me put up bars. And these shells and these bars, all it did was have me chasing a perfection that doesn't exist. And my enemy was perfection, is perfection. Because thinking that everything has to be perfect, thinking that everything has to be aligned in order for faith to happen is wrong. If I've been practicing rapping and rhyming for 15, 20 years, how can I not trust myself to hop on a camera and spit some bars every single day for the rest of my life? If this is something that I'm practicing and been practicing for 20 years, it's like tying shoes. Second nature. There's no reason that you should not be doing something that you love out here for profit. You understand? There's no reason, unless you just don't trust yourself. So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to this journey. I'm looking forward to trusting myself more. I hope you're looking forward to trusting yourself more and letting go of the insecurities, the mistakes, the need for perfection, and just step into the greatness that you have. You got it. You've just hidden it with all of the stress that life has had for you. You've hidden it. It's time for you to unleash that beast, baby. It's time for you to take the chains off. Because those chains are invisible anyway. It's just a figment of your fears and your disappointments. So I hope that you can find it in yourself to let go of all the hatred and the hatred in your life. Let go of all the disappointments. Let go of all the mistrust. And learn to embrace the love that you have, and or maybe once had for yourself when you were younger, and you've let it go because somebody else convinced you that you should love something other than what you experience every single day, all day. And that's the love of yourself. So embrace yourself, love yourself, and take steps forward so that everything in your life can be congruent and balanced. And then this whole thing that they call manifestation has no choice but to rear its beautiful face. So yeah, that's it, family. I appreciate you for tuning in. It's that man, Taj, the rapping detailer. And remember that being prepared eliminates fear. And being aware makes everything clear. It's the rapping detailer, and I'm out of here. Peace.